Okay. Um, uh, Richard, may you be engaging people as I allow people in?
Okay, we'll be back. Sorry about the back and forth logging in and going out. As we are all aware, when you don't pay for Zoom, that is what happens. You continue having such. But we hope in our subsequent discussions, we'll be able to have a Zoom account that is paid for. So we are going for a session where we are going to be hearing from everyone, basing on the discussions we've had and your own opinion of what has been going on, and what needs to be done to arrest this climate situation or the environmental situation that we have in our district. So as we said, you'll raise your hand and then we shall allow you to talk. Just raise your hand, then you'll be requested to unmute and give your opinion. Okay, I'm seeing Techno Spark 7P. For purposes of clarity, there is, a reaction kind of tab on your Zoom interface where you can go to. There is raising the hand, and then there are other reactions where you can laugh, you can agree to whatever is being said. And so there's raising the hand. That is what I mean. The host will help us, give permission to people to talk. Thank you. Oh, we can start with TechnoSpark 7P. He had already raised his hand the conventional classroom way.
Thank you, members, for this wonderful discussion. I hope I'm loud and clear.
Sure.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. As I said, I am Omara Robert Menya in my family name. I hail from Nyakwai sub-county, that is Pupukamuya parish. When I saw this notice on the WhatsApp group, I was so overwhelmed because I think this is one of the areas that I have been craving for, and that has really been touching me so much as far as environmental conservation is concerned. Just like as Rosemary said, I am not an expert in environmental conservation, but I feel the little I know about the environment makes me feel more about the other environment. I want to begin from the point of view of the religious point of view, I would say. The Catholic Church has come out and condemned environmental degradation and called it a sin. You are sinning, and it calls the environment Mother Earth. It is a sin. If you destroy the environment, that means you have committed a sin that you are supposed to go and confess your sins. So this is really putting forward the environmental conservation into a straightforward line, and we have to really cope up with it. When I want to talk about environmental conservation in Abim, I would particularly talk about charcoal burning. At this point, I don't want to point at some people, but if I talk about the evolution or the starting of the degradation in terms of charcoal burning in Abim, we know the areas that started it. and I don't need to be quoted wrongly. Charcoal burning majorly began from the belts of Alerek. We come to Talabar, whereby even some people got education through that. I have my auntie in Talabar, and at some point when I went there to visit her, they would even groups had to gather. You would call group to come and help you, to come and to go and cut charcoal. Then you burn and sell that charcoal. Then it spilled over to I think Wilela. Then it jumped to Remo, and now actually Nyakwai is I think leading. Why? Because of the influx of our neighbors, the Bateso, who have come in. I really want to talk on this point very well. I am one of the members in the group that has been so vocal about the environmental conservation, and even at some point, I really get annoyed and blow off my mind in the group. One, I want to talk particularly on Nyakwai as a whole, and to be more specific, I want to talk about Pupukamuya Parish. And if there is some team of research that will come forward to ask or to research about the trend of charcoal burning, I think Pupukamuya will be now the leading in the whole of Abim. Why? Because of the influx of the Bateso, our members who have joined us. These people cut trees as if they just don't care about anything. For them, it's about the monetary aspect of it. They want money out of the charcoal. And for them, they even come, they buy your land, and buying that land, they come, they cut charcoal from it. They don't pay you in a wall. They pay you like a quarter of the money, then they get more money from the charcoal after selling, they come and pay you off the land. That means actually it's a very big loss to an individual, it's a very big loss to the community, it's a very big loss to the world. I want to particularly talk about share trees. Share trees is becoming instinct in Pupukamuya, in Nyakwai as a particular. And Pupukamuya is one of the areas in Abim that has been blessed a lot with the share trees. When you go to areas of Pupong, Doloran, Longar, all those places, and stretching up to that side of Nyarkidi to Adea. But you see that the demand for charcoal that is from share tree is too much. And with the Bateso community, what they preserve most, what they respect most is the tamarind tree. They don't cut the tamarind tree because they know they harvest the fruit. And in fact, I really don't blame them much because of that. But it's we now who do not respect what we know has fed us and has kept us for a very long time. That is the share tree. So I have raised alarm over this share tree in the groups and several times, but as Rosemary has said, actually she said it very well, that our leaders should be responsible or should be held accountable. But now my point is that I need also to be clarified, maybe Rosemary can answer me, is how do we hold these people responsible? What do you mean? Should we go and demonstrate so that they know that we really don't want this? Should we make something out of us? The other speaker said we should not handle the law into our hands. What should we really do? I'm very happy she has come out with the aspect of beekeeping. I mean, that now brother has come out with the idea of planting trees, which I believe it is really something that can help us. I'm trying to raise a serious alarm on the share tree that is getting extinct in Abim. The tree which is there is actually finished. These people come and buy the tree only from your land, they burn charcoal and they carry it to Busia and to wherever it's going. And for us, we are left to suffer. The issue of share tree, I don't know how we can handle it. I'm so much disturbed about this issue, and I feel that we need to come out with something that will go and tell our leaders out of this Zoom meeting what should be done about the share trees. But otherwise, I would beg to end here and call for all your attention. These trees are going away. What can we do in order to allow? Before I end it again, I say this one without fear. that, you know, police connive a lot with these people who are carrying charcoal. This one, I don't fear to speak about it. They connive a lot. They are paying police a lot of money, or whether a lot or little. I think they even benefit more than the people who are burning this charcoal, because when the lorries come, they have an amount of money that they pay, and then they allow them to go. One time when I talked about it in the group, and some people were, why are you spoiling the image of police? I hope there's a policeman listening here. It would be much better. So I think we should go beyond that. Like someone said, people made noise when the police released the charcoal trucks. I think this is the way we should really go to end charcoal burning at a commercial rate in a beam. And let us tag the share tree. Let us protect the share trees, because it is going to help us. I thank you so much. And this is one of the greatest discussions I think I've ever had. And we should continue to have this kind of discussions to see how we can rescue our motherland tour from this kind of tragedy. Thank you so much. Back to you, the host.
Okay. Thank you so much for that, Robert. As we've been noting, surely some of the trees that are under threat, one of them is the shea tree. That we hope by the end of this discussion, we come out with strategies to protect that and our environment as a whole. Rosemary noted something about holding our leaders accountable. She made mention that one of the best things you can do as a citizen is providing information to the leaders. You have identified a problem. Have you informed the necessary leaders or the responsible leaders to that matter? If you've responded, what feedback have they gotten? Now, a dilemma comes in when we inform leaders and then we don't get feedback from them. We see the same vice continuing, over and over again. I believe we have experts here who will advise us on that. And that is basically it. The issue of the episodes and whatever they're doing, has been an issue that has really been going on for a good time now. It has been a topic of discussion for a very long period of time. And I wish we had one of our leaders here to give us an overview of what they're doing or what they've done in the past to, try to bring down the negative effects of these people, encroaching on our lands and resources. We shall go to another listener who has something to say. Let us try to be precise because we have to manage time. I don't expect us to come back again to log in again after the end of this session. So let us use about 1 minute when you're given the platform to speak. I'm seeing Joseph Nyimalema. May you please unmute and talk to us. Joseph, unmute and talk to us. You can raise your hand if you want to say something. Okay, thank you.
Good evening, members. Good evening, members.
Good evening to you. We are getting you loud and clear.
Very good evening, Elder. How are you? I just want to give my points on this interesting topic. A beam is the industrial, I can call it a green belt of Karamoja. My field of work, I work for National Water and Sewerage Corporation, and most of our water sources is rain-fed. And when I mean rain-fed, rain comes from the trees. The water table of a beam is the best in Karamoja. Why? the number of trees, the tree belt, the tree species, explain it why it is better, because Karamoja is expressed as a semi-desert climate, but Abim is a green belt in Karamoja. And that is why each time we talk about water, maybe harvesting water through abstraction, through the boreholes, submersible pumps, we look at the tree. What I want to explain is exactly that. There's one insecurity we have, the gun, these 3 letters, GUN. But now our new insecurity, which is facing the environment, is the axe. Now, if the practice of tree massacre is not checked, I mean, when I talk of tree massacre, this is a situation where members organize all the equipments, pickaxe, maybe panga, the axe, the saws, all those equipments. In fact, it would be equivalent to enemies coming to destroy the whole of a beam in one day, whether you're a baby, whether you're a child, whether you're a goat. And that is exactly what the trees, if I was to talk on behalf of the trees, that is what the trees is complaining about. Now in the market which is must be 2 parties, the buyer and the seller. If we get the buyer, how many trucks have we burnt down to show that really we don't condone the vice? This business of talking, what actions have we done? Then these sellers who are bringing the charcoal to the market, what have we done for them? It is alleged people are exchanging money. I'm told people are exchanging money. Now, you sell the mother earth for your personal benefit, even if you're a leader. Really, that is really out of question. We must check this vice. I saw the clip where even the authority, the environment officer, is being threatened by the Uganda police. Really, where are we heading? Where are we heading in this type of situation? I feel so bad. Me, for one, I need action-oriented strategies. Action-oriented strategies will take us somewhere, but the business of talking without any action, no, that one I don't go for it. These leaders who are listening from here now, please let us save our mother earth Abim, because previously, traditionally, no cutting trees. You look around why even the climate has changed. It is because the number of tree species is depleted. We used to have very many different species, and for example, now they're complaining of the shea tree. So you don't even cut. So for purpose of just being brief, the trees we have accounts for the water we have. When we destroy the tree, never expect water to be around. Soon even women will go 100 kilometers. Okay, they'll go and fetch water from Teso. If they preserve, if they allow the axe to destroy all the trees in Karamoja, especially Abim, they will now go and fetch water. Even if it is 20 kilometers, they should be the one concerned about it. I'm told people don't care about trees, but it's the high time we value trees completely. Because these people who are coming to buy the connection within the society, within the community. My brother, my sister, my uncle, my nephew, my what is the one championing this kind of vice. So let this thing be brought even over a radio. We educate people, let Abim become maintained as a green belt all through. I go for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Joseph. We've heard from him. He works with the. If what he has given is concise and precise, we all understand, what he has put across. We shall hear from Dr. Patrick Ojok. I see his hand up. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. I'm Patrick Ojok. I'm a lecturer at Cambogo University, for those of you who don't know me. I am happy to be part of tonight's discussion. I have a few things to say. First of all, I want to thank the conveners of this evening discussion, namely Charles Donaldson Ogira and co-host Richard. I am not aware of any earlier discussion on this topic before. So this is a positive thing that you have said. Second, I thank those who have joined this discussion, signed up for the discussion. That this is not yet, what we would call an attractive agenda among our people, because despite the fact that the link was shared in different forums, we are just here 13, 16 people who elected to join. I have a few things to say. One, climate change related disaster is a reality. It's a global fact. No longer
Doctor, excuse me, you seem far from your microphone.
Oh, can you hear me better now?
Very well now. Yes. Thank you.
I'm sorry, because of time, I'm not going to repeat what I already said, but I was on the point of submitting that climate change related disaster is a global reality that we cannot run away from it. The Sustainable Development Goals was developed among other aspirations to have a safe, healthy, and peaceful planet. So what we are discussing about excessive charcoal burning in our district is a threat, not just to environmental justice, but to our own safety as a people of Abuor. So what needs to be done? I think that we need to fully understand and appreciate the gravity of the problem we are facing. We don't seem to understand the magnitude and nature of this practice. We know that it is happening, but what is the scale of this phenomenon? Who are the key actors? What tree species are most affected? Which areas of Abuor are most affected? And from a technical point of view, what are the hazards that we stand to face in the few years to come if this practice continue as it is without a reversal? And I think that this is a starting point. And how do we get to understand and fully appreciate what we are facing? Maybe some kind of research, maybe some kind of probe by our local council, and in addition to massive awareness creation. The second thing is that I think we need to prioritize this as a serious social problem, which must be reflected in the political agenda of our district. As it stands now, from the informal interactions on the forum and other places I have been following, there is no serious demonstrated commitment to decisively tackle this problem. I am seeing deflection of the matter. Some members of the current council say, oh, but this problem has been there before. So why blame it on us? I'm also seeing that efforts that are being put in place to address this matter are inadequate. As it was shared this morning, I think the council resolution that are aimed at addressing this problem are simply inadequate. The other issue that I would like us to address is, in the process of understanding the problem, I think we need to fully understand the supply chain. Nyamalema talked about the buyers and sellers. Can we get to the bottom of who are supplying these trucks and how can we address it? We need some kind of root cause analysis of this problem. I would say that the current problem is persisting partly because we condone it, partly because we are benefiting from it, and because some people are benefiting from it, the practice is being protected. And if we are not careful, the problem will continue in our watch. So this matter that we are discussing today is actually a serious societal problem that we are facing. We must face this knowing that Karamoja as a whole has been enduring the brunt of climate change shocks for years. Abim, we have been called a green belt, but we are threatening our green advantage through this practice. Finally, I would like us to understand or talk about environmental threats in an holistic way. While charcoal burning has stood out as one of the most, the gravest of all, there are also other environmental practices that that are being carried out in our communities. I still see burning of bushes. This is something which by now should be outdated, but we still burn bushes. We are lucky that overgrazing by our neighbors from Kotido has drastically reduced. That was one of the other serious threats to our environment. So in a nutshell, I would like to encourage the voices, the isolated voices that are able to bring to the fore the issue of environmental destruction, not to give up. And let us join the men in blowing the whistle. This effort will not go in vain, and it is an act of social justice that we should always support. I thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Patrick Ajok. Some of the things you've raised are really eye-opening, and I hope authorities, they'll act upon them, and those that concern us as individuals or as communities, I hope we can be able to, adopt some of the things you've raised to, save our environment. In the interest of time,
we see Mr.
I'll go to the
Joseph hand is up.
Yeah, okay, we'll have Okuda Joseph to speak to us. Please unmute and talk to us.
Okay, good evening, members. I'm really very happy for this discussion and also for this meeting. I'm Mr. Okuda Joseph. I work in Moroto with Save the Children as a WASH advisor. I think one thing that actually, what really has made me think much about this meeting was about the impact of the environment that we are really seeing, not only in Abim, but all of Karamoja. The impact is becoming really quite very strong. Like if you see now in Moroto, if you go to areas like Nadunga, it's no longer seen. People are really suffering, And even if you try to advocate for people who put latrine facilities, they don't really have materials. Put latrine is really quite challenging. Much is the advantages. You know, when you go there, you find that these guys don't even cut trees. They really have respect for the environment. And even through our watch program we're having right now, you find these guys don't cut the environment. They only use the trees which are falling down. The one they use for putting the light field facilities, the one they use also for cooking, and the like. They rarely really cut trees for charcoal. I think there's wider community awareness and also wider culture in terms of seeing that this environment, we don't really cut the trees, you know, and they really abide by it, you know. And they also respect the leadership. The leaders also have a serious influence in that even both the political leadership, of the districts and all the community, they really have respect for the environment. Now, for this case in Abim, it's really becoming the opposite. You know, our leaders are sleeping. They really encourage the vice. The community also encourages the vice. And then, of course, we said that we are poverty. That's why people are cutting trees to go and to go and sell and make an income, which is not actually the case. I think in those old days, our elders tell us that we need to have animals. So that when you have challenges in terms of when you don't have money to go and maybe treat yourself, you sell animal to go and get medicine and treat yourself. Maybe you don't have and go and pay school fees. But nowadays, our people don't want to keep animals. They are lazy to keep animals, you know. If we could encourage, maybe like Florence mentioned, that some income generating projects that she mentioned, like crabs and others. But for me, I believe that we need to have our community and encourage them really to keep animals. I know that there's insecurity because of animals, but at least sometimes they really help. Sometimes they take, they may not take all, you know. My mother accused a lot of them, but sometimes they take 16, some take the cows, the goats remain, but you still say them when you have issues, you know, and you try to solve them. So my own action, maybe what I suggest moving forward is that we really need to have a serious action in terms of our community greening. We have a community kind of greening campaign. The teams here can lead the initiative in the district. And even if our MPs can also join hands and see if we can generate get some kind of income or maybe some kind of project, or from somewhere they can advocate and get some money. And then we get some of these trees, which you know that they're already trying to be depleted, like the shea nut seedlings, and then we come and plant them in the community. I was listening to one of the discussion, one of the actually FM station where the Speaker of Parliament was promising the community about shea nut trees for 15 million shillings. Maybe if we have those kind of serious groups, you know, and the leaders can give them that amount of maybe those kind of seedlings, they can plant them and we can see if they can even get more money from that aspect. They have other trees we can encourage and plant, you can give us more money than they can share the trees. That's just my opinion. So we need really an action on our side, both to eradicate poverty and then also to see a lot of greening campaign in the communities. We need to see them, like where Mark has also mentioned, we need to see communities plant trees, keep planting trees, beginning with us as leaders. We can actually achieve much. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Joseph, for the points you've raised here. If we have any other person, you may raise your hand and we allow you to give your opinion. We are running out of time. We are left with about 5 minutes. If you have anything to say. Okay, I've seen a comment from Flora.
Hello.
She's
guys,
saying,
hello.
Okay.
We have Caroline Ellis and Maurice Ogwaria. Maybe let's have a female voice, then Maurice will come in after. You're most welcome, Council Ellis.
Ellis, can you speak, please? Ellis, we are not getting you. Can we? maybe we can have Ogwaria to speak within the remaining minutes as Helis tries to organize herself.
Yes, thank you so much. I am very grateful to join this discussion. It's a very important discussion for our district, specifically Abim and Karamoja as a whole. I have two things to comment on. Let me take us back to our neighbors, the Lango and the Acholi. I think these are the best guys we should learn from, that there are particular species of plants that should be conserved, and above all, conserving the environment. If we could advocate for this, even in our communities, sensitize our communities on what type of trees people should have in their gardens for firewood, for fruits, and which one can you use when you want to use and replant. And then bylaws are set even at the village levels, and the chairperson heads that department. It would be of great importance because we will be talking in diasporas, but the basis is the local people down. If the local people are sensitized on the effects of these activities on our environment and are looking at what is to come in future, we would experience these things that part of our Karamoja regions are having, like Moroto. Sometimes you rarely see trees. Kotido here, trees have diminished and they're continually diminishing. If the people of Abim, with the help of the leadership and the local leadership, borrow from our neighbors within the Acholi and the Langis, it would be very important thing. And the other thing is we have different organizations within Abim, the NGOs, and even government.
Hello, Mr.
There are
Gwaria,
programs
sorry.
of farmer
Hello, Mr.
managed.
Gwaria. Maurice, sorry for interruption. I see
Yes.
we have only a minute to go. Kindly let's end this and then we join again. We don't have a licensed Zoom, that's why it is disturbing, and attempts to reach out to one of the persons who as one was futile. So let's log in again.
Okay, thank you.